Hello and welcome back to my channel and to another Meals of the Week video. So our first meal this week is a teriyaki tofu pasta. This is something that my husband Steve was making for his lunches for work. We aren't vegan or plant-based, but we do have a few meat-free meals each week. So after flattening the tofu to remove all the moisture, he just chopped some mushrooms, peppers, red hot chili, and some broccoli, and then he made up a little marinade using some soy sauce, some sriracha and some hoisin sauce. That gives a kind of teriyaki flavour. To this, he dunked the broccoli and the uncooked tofu in it and then popped it in the oven for about 25 minutes. Meanwhile, he fried off the other veg and the chili and spices and cooked some whole wheat pasta. Once his broccoli and tofu was cooked and his other veg had fried off, he just mixed them all together and he took this to work for about 5 days. He's got a microwave at work, so he can take it cold and heat it. And if he's not going to be somewhere where he can use a microwave, then he heats it up before he goes and pops it in his food flask. So for tonight's dinner, we have made the boys some smash burgers. So it's basically beef with lots of seasonings. We've done it several times on our channel. And there's Gouda cheese, there's some onions, we've got brioche buns, mayo, ketchup, and with that they've got some tortilla crisps and some hummus. So they've got one double burger and then one single burger. I'll just show you inside. So just basically smash burgers. They're absolutely huge. Steve said he doesn't think they'll fit them in their mouth, but I said our teenagers, they will. So this is the other one. It's only Bailey and Jake having these. Oscar doesn't fancy it, so he's going to have some crisps and vegetables and hummus. And then this was Steve's first attempt at the buns. I mean, to be fair, brioche buns catch really quickly, but I don't think we'd get away with it, to be honest. Keeping it real over here. While he's picking the bits off the grill, the crispy bits. Yeah, so we'll just put those to one side. I'm sure the birds will like those. And this is what the boys are having tonight. So for tonight's dinner, I have made a chili with chickpeas and some pork and beef mince, and I'm just trying to use some bits up, so I've made that and then I've just put a flatbread along with it, and this is what the boys are having. And then Steve and I have got some corn collie rice that I made yesterday and prepped it, so I'll show you that in a second. And Steve and I have got our collie rice with the corn and chilies and all those kind of things that I put in it. Just topped it with a tiny bit of natural yogurt and some rocket, and this is what we've got for our dinner. So I'm just about to start making a butternut squash soup. So I've cut my butternut in half and I'm going to put some spray oil, a little bit of salt and some garlic granules on this. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven. It's probably going to take about 40 or 50 minutes until it goes all nice and soft, and then I can just scoop the flesh out and make my soup. So my butternut is all cooked. So if I get a spoon now, I can literally just scoop the flesh out without having to peel it or chop it. You can use the skin. I find it leaves hard fibres in soup, so I don't, but you can just blitz the whole thing up. I've never actually, no matter how long I roast it, I've never enjoyed eating the skin of it. You can see it's gone quite nice and brown, but I just find it's like very fibrous. There's lots of tiny little, it almost feels like little kipper bones. So I'm going to scoop that out. I'm going to put it in a big saucepan. I'm going to add some chopped garlic, sorry the dog's snoring, some chopped garlic, some coconut milk, like Alpro coconut milk, and some chicken stock and some chili flakes, and then blitz it up. I'm trying to make it quite a healthy, like low calorie. I don't want to add loads of cream or loads of like potato to it or anything like that. I just want it butternut squash, stock, a little bit of coconut flavour. Oh, that's a good idea. Can you buy coconut flavour in? I just wondered that. If I could put like essence of coconut, I bet you can. It would give it more coconut flavour than adding the coconut milk. Anyway, I haven't got any, so I'm not doing that, but I'm going to put it all together and I'll show you. So I've got my butternut in my saucepan. I've added some garlic. I'd say that's probably 2 large cloves of garlic, some salt, some pepper, some dried red chili flakes. So in my jug, I've got 2 chicken stock cubes with about 300 ml of boiling water. I'm going to add that in. To that, I'm also going to add, I've no idea what I'm doing, by the way. Did I say I put smoked paprika in there? I haven't yet. I'm going to add smoked paprika. So I'm going to add my coconut milk, which is 200 ml of like the Alpro no added sugar coconut milk. And then I'm going to put some smoked paprika. It's probably about half a teaspoon maybe. And then I'm going to heat this up. Once it's nice and hot, I can blitz it. I don't think it's going to need to be blitzed, to be honest. I might add a little bit more liquid if I want it a little bit runnier, and then I'll taste it and see how we go. But it smells like a smoky coconut chili kind of soup. So here is my soup. I also added some hot chili powder, some curry powder, and a little bit more salt and pepper, and it's just, it tastes really, really good. I don't know how I did it, really. It's one of those soups that I've now made and I could not recreate because I kind of just dolloped stuff in at the end. But it's turned out a really nice consistency. I didn't want a massive stew. I wanted it quite thin, so that you can just sort of sip it as soup. So yeah, there is my butternut squash and everything else but the kitchen sink soup. So we have got a Monday night roast dinner because we decided not to have one yesterday. So we've got some roast gammon, roasted carrots, some white cabbage, some broccoli, and of course roast potatoes, and loads of gravy, and this is what we are having for dinner tonight. So I'm just about to start tonight's dinner and I'm popping some veg in the oven. So I've got some leek, courgette and pepper. They all needed using up. So I'm just going to sprinkle some smoked paprika over the top and also some cayenne pepper. Give it a little spray of oil. I think that's plenty. I'm going to give it a little spray of oil and then pop it in the oven. And I've got some hex sausages that I kind of cooked yesterday that also need using, and I think cauliflower rice is going to be involved as well, so these are going in the oven for a start. So I've just mixed my roasted veg with some cold sausages that I'd already cooked and some tomato puree. I'm going to add a little bit of chilli, and Steve's going to have a sweet potato jacket, and I think I might have mine on some spinach. So I've just got my sausage served on a bed of spinach, a little bit of raw onion, and I've topped it with a really tiny amount of grated cheddar. And I've realised now that you can't really see the sausage thing underneath. Oh, I was going to say I'll show you Steve's. He's also covered his in cheese. There's the sausage thing down there. There's just peppers, mushrooms. No mushrooms. I didn't put mushrooms. I forgot to put mushrooms. But yeah. This is what we are having for dinner tonight. So for dinner tonight, I have done the boys some pizza. One is a meat feast and one's barbecue chicken. And then I've just got some Doritos and grated a little bit of cheese on, popped them in the microwave. And there we have it, like a little mini nachos. I didn't have any salsa. And pizza. Just preparing tonight's dinner, and we are having salad. And I'm just cooking the chicken on the grill to go with it. And then we've got a little bit of coleslaw if anyone wants it. So I'll show you once we've added the other bits, but I just thought it looked pretty before we dump everything on top of it. So here we are with the chicken on top. I've just done the boys for now, and then me and Steve are going to have ours in a minute because I couldn't fit all the chicken on the grill. So we've got coleslaw. Boys have got some ras el hanout seasoning, and Oscar's just got his plain. And Steve have also got seasoning on ours. And I'm just going to see if they want any bread and butter with it. And Steve's made his look all pretty with some fig glaze and everything else he's piled on there. Balsamic vinegar. So that's what we've got for our dinner tonight. So as it is one of my boys' birthdays tomorrow, I'm just about to start making some cookies. So at Christmas time I made some melt in the middle chocolate orange cookies, and the first part of that is to mix some Nutella with some orange essence and then freeze it so that it can make the centres of the cookies, and then you wrap the cookie dough around them, put them in the oven, and then the centre goes all nice and gooey. So I want to prepare this part now. So I thought I might try and use this like silicone mould. So there's 15 in here, but I actually need 24. So I'm going to put about 24 teaspoons worth of Nutella in here and a few teaspoons of orange essence to make our chocolate orange flavouring. And then I'm going to pop it in here, and then I'll probably have a few spare as well to make up the 24. So I've put my bowl on a scale. I'm thinking we want about 120 grams because that is the equivalent of 12 teaspoons. That's the equivalent of 24 teaspoons in theory. That's 60 grams. That does not look like 12 teaspoons worth. I suppose it would be. So let's see. Well, that's 120. I'm not sure that is 24. I'm going to go with a little bit more because why not? So I've ended up adding about 3 teaspoons of orange to my chocolate, and then I'm going to hopefully make 24 discs that I'm going to freeze for, well, probably overnight until I make the cookies. and then we will wrap our cookie mixture around them, and when they bake in the oven you'll get all this melty chocolate. Right, so this is my first lot done. I'm going to put these in the freezer, and now I've got to go on the school run, so I'll do the rest when I get back. So I'm just starting the cookie part of my orange chocolate cookies, and I haven't got brown sugar, I've only got caster sugar. So you're supposed to use 180 grams of brown and 100 grams of like caster sugar. I'm using all caster sugar, so 280 grams of that, and then I've got 230 grams of butter, and I've got to cream these two together first. Right, so to my mixture, my butter and sugar mixture, I'm going to add 2 eggs, and instead of vanilla extract, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of orange so that we have our chocolate orange flavouring. Right, so into our mixture I need to add, so I'm going to add 280 grams of plain flour, 2 teaspoons of corn flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then 80 grams of cocoa powder. Go. So we mix it together until it forms a dough, and then it says if it's a little bit dry, add some milk. I will leave the recipe that I've based this on in the description box of this video if I remember. If not, someone comment and I will. The only thing I've really changed is I've used white sugar instead of brown, and I've also added orange where it says add vanilla, because these weren't supposed to be chocolate orange cookies. The recipe is just for Nutella cookies. So once I've mixed this all together, if it seems dry, I'm going to add a tablespoon or so of milk, or a couple of tablespoons, and then that's my dough done. Right, so I've mixed everything together and turned it into a dough. It says that you can add a little bit of milk, but I think this is like moist enough. So I think what I'm going to do now is pop this in a ball of cling film and pop it in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. Okay, so once my dough had been chilled in the fridge, you don't have to chill it, but I wasn't using it straight away, so I did. It was really solid, so I managed to kind of slice it up, and then I formed each piece of dough into a ball and flattened it out. You then take one of your frozen centres and pop it in the middle of the cookie dough, and basically you just fold the cookie around the centre. These then go onto a greaseproof lined baking tray, and they go into a preheated oven at about 180 degrees, and they take about 10 minutes. You want to take them out when they're still soft, because they will go a bit firmer, and they are absolutely amazing. I made much less than 24 with this recipe because my cookies were huge, so bear that in mind. If you're going to make much smaller, like bite-sized cookies, you might get 24. I think I got around 15, maybe 18 out of it, but they are so good. Right, so here we are about to go in the oven. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the end, and I was planning to make 24. 14 huge cookies. Yeah, they're going to be a meal in themselves, so I'm just going to put these in the oven. They take around 15 minutes, and I've got it on 180. So after 10 minutes I took them out of the oven. We actually served ours warm with ice cream, but if you leave them till the next day and you don't warm them up, you still get this lovely centre that's all gooey chocolate orange. You could add any flavours into this. You could make mint chocolate ones, or you could leave it at vanilla if you don't fancy the orange essence. So if you are lucky enough to have any cookies left over, then they will store in an airtight container for up to a week. We didn't actually have many left at all, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back really soon with another video. Take care, guys.